filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Welcome back to CPC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back here with another episode. My bad on not making the Elite 8 episode. That's on me. Completely forgot. I just woke up, went to work, forgot to make that episode before work. Then by the time I realized I forgot to make the episode, I was on my way out of Virginia. So my fault on that. But just take my word for it. I went 2 for 2. I picked UConn, I picked Clemson, and I picked Tennessee, and I picked NC State. So just take my word for it. People in the chat will tell you I went 2 for 2 in the Elite 8. So that's on me, though. But today, I'm going to just recap the tournament. I'm going to recap mainly the Elite 8, to be honest. I mean, we can go over the Sweet 16 a little bit, but I'll recap the Elite 8. I'm going to pick the Final Four from the NIT. And we could briefly talk about the women's game because we had 2 really good games tonight. But before I do all that, I like to ask that you leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel grow. It helps my channel, Carl Talking College, by way of the Refuse to Lose Network. You see Carl Talking College right there in the other corner. You can't see my finger, but the Refuse to Lose Network sign. I don't have my record on me today, so don't worry about it. It's not because either one is a losing record. Just want to throw that out there. Both records are winning records. I just don't have it up here. But yeah, please support other shows like RBO, who went live earlier. Baseball with Teddy, who just went live probably an hour ago. Talking about the Yankees, how they're currently 4-0. They swept the Astros, and they're currently up against the Diamondbacks. I believe 5-1 against the Diamondbacks in Arizona. So shout out to the Yankees. Also, while we're talking about BWT, shout out to the Tigers. Currently 4-0. Just beat the Mets in extras 5-0. Scored 5 runs in the top of the 10th. To remain undefeated. Then we have Dave's Doghouse, who goes live normally on Wednesdays. He went live last Wednesday morning, switched it up on us. We got Kings Talk with Joe Jordan, where he talks about the Kings. We got the main show, who made their return this morning. It was a Dummy Bros episode featuring featuring Dave and Tomo. Had a little discussion about what they talked about in the chats afterwards. And last but certainly not least, oh no, I'm missing another show. Excuse me. FFC, who should be back tomorrow. Probably talking pre-draft, maybe talking a little bit of some other stuff in the offseason. But last but not least, we have Empty Red Corner, who goes live every other Sunday. That's featuring Ty, Ricky, and Fast Camp. So just be on the lookout for all those shows. If you like what you're listening to, stick with us. But let's get into the tourney. So the tourney featured the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 this past week. We had the Sweet 16 Thursday and Friday. We had Alabama and North Carolina, which was a barn burner of a game. But before that, we did have Arizona and Clemson. So I can't skip past that. We did have Arizona and Clemson. Caleb Love shot terribly from the floor, specifically from the 3 where he went 0 for 9. He shot a couple jack shots, but that's Caleb Love. That's what you're going to get with Caleb Love. He missed a couple open ones too, but this is what I say about Caleb Love. A lot of people gave Caleb Love a lot of flack in the Arizona game, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I'm not taking none of the blame away from him. But it did look like that he let Javion Bradley do his thing when he was the high hand late game. He didn't try to take the ball out of his hands. He let Javion Bradley do his thing. It's just Clemson. Every time Arizona made a run, Clemson responded, whether it was PJ, whether it was Ian Shefflin, whether it was Chase Hunter. They had a response for every punch that Arizona had, and including when Omar Bello down low looked unstoppable. Clemson had an answer for everything Arizona gave them. Like I said, we had Alabama and North Carolina, which Bama was cooking from three. I noticed it. I said it early. Bama was cooking from three. Mark Sears was hot. Ryland Griffin was hot. They were just cooking from three. Grant Nelson cooked in the second half. I think he had foul trouble. Or I might be remembering. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm remembering Alabama Clemson where he had foul trouble in the first half. But Grant Nelson was cooking. But so was North Carolina. I believe Cormac Ryan was cooking from three. I think Harrison Ingram had a pretty decent game. RJ Davis shot it poor from 3, 0-9. Same as Caleb Love. But North Carolina, they had it going too. It's just late game. Grant Nelson was just a force to be reckoned with. RJ Davis was able to go to the line late game to keep Carolina up. But a couple bad plays, including a terrible three by Jalen Withers. I don't know what he was thinking on that three. Then Grant Nelson goes down to hit an and one. I believe Baycott gets a layup down 4 to cut it to 2. Bama misses. RJ Davis comes down. I think he tries to get a layup, but Grant Nelson blocks it. I think that leads to a shot clock violation. A couple seconds later, Alabama hangs on to upset North Carolina in the Sweet 16. I honestly hats off to both teams. It was just an offensive battle. I don't think North Carolina had that same defensive intensity that they showed in the earlier rounds, like against MSU, when after MSU went on a run, when we was up 12, they defensively they just locked in. Also, I do want to say this: Elliot Cadeau and Seth Trimble, I think, barely played in the second half. I know Cadeau barely played. I don't remember Seth Trimble being out there as well. And Seth Trimble is their best perimeter defender, so that was kind of questionable. Cadeau hit a couple threes. Seth Trimble actually went 2 for 2 for 3 too. That shocked me as well. But shout out Nate Oates. Let's see. Shout out my boy Tony in the comments. He said they started acting like the Tar Heels. hey, go ahead, bro. I don't know about that. It's just art. So my thing was, like I said, the Withers 3 was inexcusable. That definitely kind of was like, oh yeah, they're about to lose this one, because that's how I felt when he shot it and missed it. But I don't know, bro. It was a lot of factors in that game. I guess we have to talk about UConn blowing out. I forgot who they blew out, bro. But UConn just been blowing out everybody, so it really don't matter. Yeah, that is very true. Dumb decisions at the wrong time is absolutely correct. Dang, I don't remember who UConn played in the Sweet 16. I feel like it really don't matter. So I think it was a blowout anyway. But I mean, I gotta give them their shine. So let me go back real quick. They played San Diego State. I came on here and told y'all that was gonna be a blowout. I know it was a championship rematch. Knew that was gonna be a blowout. They won by 30. So nothing much there. Now we got to talk about Illinois and Iowa State, because that game was a really good one. I feel like Iowa State did miss a bunch of shots at the rim, which was uncharacteristic for Iowa State. Illinois was able to score on a tough Iowa State defense. I believe Terrence Shannon had a Terrence Shannon game. Yeah, Terrence Shannon had, I got it right here, 29. I thought he had 29. He had 29 points. So Terrence Shannon did his thing, 29 points. Like I said, man, was able to score against a tough Iowa State defense. Iowa State made it close late. They just could not win the game. They couldn't get over the hump. Tony, you would think he had a bunch of shots, but he was 10 of 19. 10 of 19, 5 of 10 from the free throw line. So that's a pretty efficient day. Pretty efficient day for Terrence Shannon. But really good win there. We move on to Friday. NC State beats Marquette. Marquette missed 27 3. Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, you saying they missed a lot of shots. I got you. I got what you're saying now. NC State missed 27 threes with 4 for 31 from 3. That is insane. And that led me to say what I said in the chat, where I felt like, oh, Dave, I'm good. You good. That led me to believe that NC State was destined to win the Final Four. The reason why I don't think they're destined to win it all, because I don't think anybody's beating UConn. But I feel like once Marquette missed 27 threes, and the way they was missing open threes, and Cam Jones was off, and it just looked all bad for Marquette. They was just flat on offense. Tyler Kolek was literally carrying the offense. which is normal, but he normally has a little help. I was like, yeah, this team is destined. And that's why I picked them to beat Duke. Literally, the only reason why I picked them to beat Duke in the chat, I said, is because they felt like a team of destiny to make the Final Four. That was legit the only reason why I picked them, and they won. Moving on to Purdue and Gonzaga. Pretty close game in the first half. Second half, Purdue came out and just punched them in the face. Zach Edey was a bit too much for them guys, and they were able to run away with the game against Gonzaga. Next game we have is Duke and Houston, which was a really good game, but a really sad way for Jamal Shead to go out. I think the score was 18-10 or 16-10 when Jamal Shead went up for a layup. I think Mark Mitchell went up to try to block it. Missed the block. I thought it should have been a foul call. Jamal Shead tweaked his ankle on the way down. Injured, could not come back in the game. And you could just tell Jamal Shead masked a lot of problems for the Houston offense because they instantly went from Jamal Shead running the offense to which made no sense. But Jawan Roberts was running the offense for Houston when you have LJ Cryer, your leading scorer, by the way, for Houston. He was there. He was there from Baylor. You had Damian Dunn, who's used to running the offense. He ran the offense at Temple. And I don't think Emmanuel Sharp can run the offense, but I mean, I would rather Emmanuel Sharp run the offense over Jawan Roberts. I was so lost why Houston was just running the offense through the big men. And you could tell that just made Houston offense so stagnant. Defensively, they were there. Still the same defensively, just offensively just looked bad. And that's what lost them the game. I think Jared McCain had a really good game against Houston too. Yeah, exactly. I don't think Kelvin Sampson recovered from that injury as well, bro. I honestly, I was like, I don't know what Kelvin Sampson was thinking. But Emmanuel Sharp had a good look at the end of the game to win it. Missed it. It is what it is. Hats off to Duke for winning. Last game we have to talk about is Creighton, Tennessee. Tennessee won that game. I figured Tennessee would win. Creighton a pretty good team, but lacked defense. Tennessee is actually a really good defensive team, but they kept letting Creighton get back in it. Tennessee would go up big, and then Creighton would fight to get back in it. Then Tennessee would go up again. Creighton to fight to get back in it. But Dalton Knecht, he led all scorers with 26. Baylor Shireman was behind them for Creighton with 25. Dalton Knecht, 8 of 21, not a great shooting night, but hey, he's their best player. He's going to get his shots up, and he's a dog. So you live with half the shots he's taking. But Tennessee won a good one against Creighton. We move on to the Elite Eight. First game. So the first game, I caught like the last 4 minutes of the first half. And when I first came into the door, they were talking about how they were letting them play and all that, which is fine. I love it. I love when the refs let them play. But then UConn got a couple questionable calls to go up 5 at halftime. But I don't think that's the reason why they won, because second half, boy, they just came out and punched Illinois in the face, and Illinois didn't know what to do. Went on a 30-0 run, including that first half. So it was like the 5-0, then added on. So 30-0 run. Illinois had no answer. They had no clue. They never dealt with nothing like that before. And it was it. Illinois was down 30 for like majority of the game. I think they ended up losing by 25, but they was down 30 for a lot of that game. Again, UConn just been dominant the past 2 tournaments. As the UConn fan in here writes 30-0 run. So shout out to them. So we're gonna talk about a more competitive game. I know UConn not getting a lot of talk time because, bro, y'all dominant, bro. Y'all so dominant. That's why. So it's a compliment. But we gotta move on to Alabama Clemson, which was a really good game. Clemson, they played well against Alabama. I think they started off like 8-2 or something like that. Grant Nelson got in super early foul trouble. I think he had the second foul, like 17 minutes left in the game, had to leave. And then he was back in with like 10 or 11 minutes back in the first half. I'm like, Nato, so what are you doing? Hold on. You can't afford to lose Grant Nelson like this. But he didn't get his third. He was able to survive and hold on. Alabama actually, I believe, took the lead at halftime. They fought their way to take the lead at half. Yeah, they were up 3 going into the half. But yeah, Mark Sears, great game. Nick Pringle, definitely great game toward down the stretch of it. Rylan Griffin hit a couple big buckets. Stevenson hit a couple big buckets, including one to put him at one point. in the first half, but when Clemson was trying to get over the hump or they was making a run, Stevenson would hit a key three to give Alabama some breathing room. Mark Sears, what a launch from the logo. Up 6. He just launched that joint off a screen from the logo and cashed it to go up 9. Alabama did look like late game, like they were trying, like, I don't know, maybe force OT, a couple turnovers, but they were able to hold on. The one bad turnover with Pringle and Sears, I think I get at the Pringle because Sears had nowhere to go, and then it looked like Pringle just panicked and threw it when Sears was like coming towards him and then trying to set his defender up to go back to where he came from. Just looked like Pringle just panicked and threw it. But luckily they was able to escape that. Pringle had a couple big and ones. Sears, like I said, a couple threes. Rylan Griffin hit a 3. Stevenson hit a couple big buckets. Alabama was able to beat Clemson. We move on to Sunday, which we had a huge game, a great game between Tennessee and Purdue. Dalton Connect and Zach Edey, they just went at it all game. Now, obviously, they didn't go at each other, but I'm just talking about going at each other's teams. Dalton, I think, had 40s. Edey, I think, had 41. No, Dalton had 37. Edey had 40. But Dalton hitting 3 after 3 after 3. Zach Edey in the paint doing his normal dominant thing. Couple questionable calls on Zach Edey, but for the most part, a bunch of fouls. Now, I will say this. The announcer said that they thought, I think his name was Okara, was doing a better job with Zach Edey. I disagreed. I think Estrella should have got a bunch more minutes. Estrella did a really good job on Zach Edey. And, yeah, Tony, I don't mean a couple by 2, but there were definitely some questionable calls for Zach Edey that I felt like if that was somebody else, they wouldn't be calls. But I don't want to blame the refs for Tennessee loss because the refs is not the reason why Tennessee lost. But there were a couple questionable calls. But Dalton Connect hit some huge threes. Kai Ziegler was kind of off. I think the next leading scorer for Tennessee was like 9. Yeah, I thought it was 10, but it was 9. It was 9 by Zakai Ziegler, who was 3 from 12 from the field, 1 for 8 for 3. Josiah Jordan-James was 2 for 2. I thought he took some bad shots, but for sure, shout out to Purdue. Lance Jones hit a huge 3 up 3. He hit a huge 3 up 3 to put him up 6, which I thought was a dagger at that point. I think Foster Lawyer hit a couple free throws. He might even have hit a 3 late game. But, man, that was just an exciting game, an electric game. What hurt Tennessee was when they went up 12 and then scored 2 points for the rest of the half. That really hurt Tennessee. Purdue was able to go on a huge run. They locked them up defensively. Tennessee couldn't score. Like I said, they scored 2 points from that run to the rest of the half. And that's what really screwed them over. At that point, Dalton Connect was trying to play hero ball, which he was doing a really good job at it because he was able to tie the game late. Now, again, he hit a 3 to tie it. I think Zach Edey got a foul. And then Dalton started forcing up some threes, which, I mean, in my opinion, you have to live with it because he's been hitting them all game. Like, you can't chastise him. You can't chastise him after he's been hitting them for you. You can't then kill him for what he was doing that got you there. You just got to live with it. He missed them. You got to live with it. But to finish my point, because I forgot my point because of the comment, I think Estrella should have got more minutes than Okpara. I think he did a phenomenal job on Zach Edey, and he didn't foul. I think he finished with, 2? I got the stats right here. Estrella finished with 3 fouls in 15 minutes. Awaka finished with 5 fouls in 14 minutes. You tell me who did. I think, even from watching the game before I looked at them stats, I thought Estrella did a better job. I think he should have got more minutes. I think they might have won that game if Estrella got more minutes because, like I said, man, he was able to do a really good job and he wasn't fouling Edey like Awaka. But Rick Barnes disagreed. The announcers disagreed. It is what it is. Ultimately, Purdue was able to hang on and go to the Final Four for the first time since the 80s. Also, Bama's first time ever in the Final Four. I will bring that back up. Then lastly, we have the NC State-Duke game. NC State takes down Duke. First of all, I would like to say that DJ Burns deserves all the praise in the world. I wish he would have got it when he was at Winthrop. when he took Winthrop to the NCAA tournament, but again, I mean, it didn't work out like that. We got enough praise to where he was able to transfer to NC State, and now he's getting the praise. Better late than never. But I just want DJ Burns to know, I remember what you did at Winthrop. I watched you at Winthrop. I'm watching you now. So just wanted him to know that. Let me see. My bad. I ain't even read this. Hold on. They were depending on Dawn too much. They were open shots they passed up to give him the ball. See, okay, I somewhat agree with that. Nobody else was hitting. Now, I will say people were taking shots. Jordan Gainey took his shots. Josiah Jordan James took his shots. Even though I thought they were bad, they still went in. Jordan Gainey got his shots when he got his. I think Jonas Adu took a couple shots that he missed that I didn't think he should take. I say that this statement that you say is more so true at the end of the game. At the end of the game, I can agree with this. But throughout the game, I feel like people took their shots. They just missed. That's all it was. Takes down Duke again. Beat him I believe in the ACC championship. Beat him in the Elite Eight. But Duke first half, they did a really good job. I think DJ Horn was in foul trouble early. Okay, then we agree, Tony. We agree then. I think DJ Horn was in foul trouble early in the first half. Duke was able to do a good job taking advantage of it, but then DJ Burns got hot. DJ Burns could do no wrong. I mean, back down. That spin off the post up was nasty. He was just leaving defenders in the dust with that spin off the post, out the post, shooting off the glass, creating fouls, creating opportunities for his teammates. I think Eli Middlebrooks was a key reserve in this game when Muhammad Diarra got foul trouble. Which, by the way, Muhammad Diarra, where are you getting this confidence to shoot these threes? I don't know where you're getting this confidence from, bro. I admire it low-key, but stop. I think you made like 23s on a year. Stop it, my brother. Get your butt in the paint and dunk on folks like you did on that back cut. Please. I know that was my little mini rant because I seen Diarra pulling a three. I think on a wing, off like the pull up, like step into it. I'm like, oh, what are you doing, bro? Like this is crazy. I get it. He made a couple threes in the tournament in the corner. I get it, but brother, no, sir. The DJ Horn though, he kind of got hot too though. DJ Horn got hot in the second half. Yeah, he definitely got hot in the second half. DJ Horn got hot in the second half. I couldn't find Cal. I didn't know what Cal was. Jared McCain, he got hot like towards the end of the game. Thank you. You know exactly what play I'm talking. You know exactly what play I'm talking about. I said the same thing, but yeah, I don't know what Cal was. Cal fouled out. So here's the thing. I was a fan of Cal, but I just feel like Cal be dirty, and then the whole Wake Forest thing rubbed me the wrong way, and it just seems like he never took accountability for that, and. Then the whole Harrison Ingram thing after that in the Duke North Carolina game, I just stopped becoming a fan of Cal, bro. Like, I'm sorry, I can't respect that. But yeah, NC State great win. I don't know why Duke. Why did Jared McCain foul with 1.9 left, down 10? It's still so puzzling to me. I really don't understand why he did that. Like, what was your purpose, bro? Whatever. There's no 10-point playing basketball. Just let it ride. But great team win for NC State. DJ Burns almost had 30. Shout out to Kevin Keats, makes the Final Four, I think, since Jim Valvano. Could be wrong on that, but shout out to them. And that sets your Final Four stage. You have UConn, NC State. No, you have UConn, excuse me. And I know NC State plays Purdue. You got UConn and Alabama. UConn, Alabama, NC State, and Purdue. I will go over those games Friday for y'all. Now, before I go into my NIT, I do want to say this. Nate Oates is the best, and I mean the best coach in the SEC. Here's why. Alabama might have made the tournament one time, and I think that's with Colin Sexton. One time before Nate Oates got there in the last 5 years. Since Nate Oates has got there, it's been Sweet 16. Sweet 16. I think they lost like in the round of 32 once. Now, for the first time ever, Alabama's in the Final Four. Ever. Alabama has never been a basketball school. Nobody's ever thought of Alabama had any chance of going to the Final Four. It's not like Alabama's been known for getting huge recruits. They have not. They best recruit that I could think of before Nate Oates was what? Colin Sexton, and before that maybe Design Ingram. Maybe. I don't even know about that. But Alabama is now being looked at as a problem in basketball, and it's all because of Nate Oates. And then if you're thinking, no, it's not because of Nate Oates, how is it because of Nate Oates? Think to Buffalo. Buffalo made the tournament twice under Nate Oates that I remember, when they played against West Virginia and Javon Carter and Daxter Miles and lost. And then they played in 2018 and beat Arizona. That was with Nate Oates. Nate Oates is just a phenomenal coach. He does so much for us. He's so good at recruiting players that buys into what he wants them to do. I'm telling you, he's the best coach. I know you're going to say Calipari got the ring in 2011 and all that, but Calipari, facts. They overachieved. They've overachieved with Nate Oates this year. They weren't supposed to be in the Final Four. They have overachieved. They were number one in the SEC. These are things that Alabama just don't do. They were number one in the SEC. Now they lost to, I believe, Kentucky or Florida in the SEC championship. But still, they won the regular season. I don't know the last time Alabama has done that. They're in the Final Four again. Never been done before. Nate Oates is just taking Alabama to new heights. This reminds me of Billy Donovan in Florida. Florida wasn't really a basketball school until Billy Donovan got there. And then he got him to the NCAA, the championship in 2000, lost to Michigan State. But then he got him 2 back-to-back rings in 06 and 07. Then he got him back to the Final Four in 2012. He got him SEC tournament championships. He got him SEC regular season championships. He got him 4 Final Fours, 2 natties. Florida, since the Billy Donovan has left, hasn't done nothing. They've just existed. They've just been making tournaments, but they haven't won the SEC. They have not won an SEC tournament. They have not been to a Final Four. They have nothing. They've been to an SEC championship, but they lost to Auburn, so that does not count. You have nothing since Billy Donovan. Nate Oates is the equivalent to me of Billy Donovan. And I would love for somebody to change my mind, but I just can't. I'm not saying it's Calipari, because Calipari took over a Kentucky team who has history, who has tradition, who gets recruits, who gets the championships, who gets the Final Fours. He's not made his own legacy there. I mean, I'll take that back. He's not building on something that wasn't there. He just added on to Kentucky's legacy. He's been a great recruiter. But then you look at the past tournament exits, all of them been the first weekend. And then he also did not make the tournament with the Kentucky team. He's also been to the NIT multiple times. He lost in the first round of NIT with Nerlens Noel to Robert and Morris in 2012 or 2013. You can fact check the correct year. I'm sorry. Nate Oates is the best coach. I know it's my little mini rant, but Nate Oates is the best coach in the SEC. And if you disagree, you can give me your answer, and you can tell me why you think Nate Oates isn't the best coach in the SEC. But until somebody gives me otherwise, it's Nate Oates. All right, so that's my little mini rant. Now to predict the NIT's Final Four. I'm not going to predict the championship or a championship game. I'm going to wait till, I think, Thursday. But first game of your NIT, which is tomorrow, we have Utah and Indiana State, 7 o'clock on ESPN. It's at Mackey Arena, I believe. Let me double check that. Hinkle Fieldhouse. Sorry, it's where Butler plays. It's at Hinkle Fieldhouse, 7 o'clock. Yeah, they beat Florida in the SEC championship, Tony. They beat Florida. So Utah has been playing phenomenal in the NIT. So has Indiana State. But here's the thing. This is why I'm going to go with Indiana State to beat Utah. Utah, right, has been great. But here's why. Every game they had in the NIT has been a home game. They're 17-2 at home. On the road, Utah is 2-9. That's not good. That's absolutely horrible. They're not going to be at home. They're on the road. This is a neutral site game. And they have not played well in those games. So that is the reason why I'm rolling with Indiana State. I know Delvin Smith, who had the triple-double against VCU? Yeah, Delvin Smith, he's been playing well. Gabe Mass has been playing well. Brandon Carlson has been playing well. Utah's been playing well. But they've been at home. When you take that team on the road, it is not the same. And Indiana State is battle-tested. They play well on the road. They play well at home. They, again, the highest net-ranked team to not make a tournament ever. Not mid-major, ever. They were net-ranked 29th and did not make the tournament. And it's because of the name of the front of the jersey. So I say NIT. Indiana State is a proven team. Also, Indiana State is 16-1 at home, but 9-4 on the road. So they're good on the road and at home. Give me Indiana State to beat Utah. Second game, we have Georgia versus Seton Hall. Now, Seton Hall has made it through this NIT with defense. Defensive intensity for Seton Hall has been stupendous. But again, Seton Hall has played every game at home. And I think the same thing with Seton Hall, just to a lesser degree, is Utah. I think this is true. I think it showed in the VCU game. I think they jumped out to an 18-2 lead and let VCU jump right back in it and then pulled away by like 20 late game. I think this is true as well. But yeah, Seton Hall, their record at home was a 17-4. Their record on the road, 5-6. So again, like I just said, they're like Utah just to a lesser degree. Way better at home, not as good away from home. Now, Georgia is different. The reason why I say Georgia is different, Georgia has been playing without their two best players, RJ Melendez and Jabri Abdul-Rahim, and they've been getting it done, including an upset win at Ohio State. Not against Ohio State, but in Ohio State's building. They have been playing phenomenal. Blue Kane has been able to do his thing from moving from the bench to starting. Blue Kane has been starting in the absence of those two guys. Georgia has been playing phenomenal basketball. It seems like Mike White got his team under control now. He gets what to do. Georgia was 13-6 on the road. At home, 6-6 on the road. So not too different from Seton Hall, but again, they do have the road win in their NIT against a really good team who some might have picked to win it all besides Indiana State. Won that one. So I think I'm going to roll with the high hand. I think I'm going to roll with Georgia. Just like Tony, I'm rolling with Georgia because they've shown me they could win on the road in this tournament, and Seton Hall has not shown me that. Seton Hall has had the luxury of playing all their games at home. I would love to see what the Seton Hall team does in a neutral site. Now, granted, they are playing at Butler, which Seton Hall has played. I believe Seton Hall has played in Butler. They should have. Because I believe everybody in the Big 12 played over twice. Not Big 12, Big East. Plays over twice. I don't know why I just said Big 12. I believe they played over twice, but let me double check that. So there's a little bit of familiarity with the court, being as though they are Big East. Yep, they played at Butler. They won by 6. So they do got a little familiarity with the court, but that was back in January 13th. Give me Georgia. So my NIT championship will be Indiana State and Georgia. If that were to happen, I am going to pick Indiana State, but I'm not going to give you a reason why yet because we don't know if that's the truth or not. So I will be back probably Wednesday to talk about the NIT finals. But let's briefly talk about. I never changed the topic. Oh well, whatever. I'm not changing the banner no more. We already too deep. Let's talk about this women's game. Oh, I did change it. Let's talk about this women's game for a second. These women games, as I find my banners. I ain't got no banner for this one. First game, LSU Iowa. Caitlin Clark. Hey, at halftime, she told the lady, "Hey, this is what you work hard for. We got 20 minutes left. To see who goes to the Final Four, and I'm going to be ready." And she came out that thing gunning. Came out, hit, 3 threes, went on a 9-0 run, I think, herself. Caitlin Clark is just phenomenal. And it's not like she was hitting easy shots off screens. No, she was hitting leaners, deep threes, leaning, pulling up off screens. She just made so many incredible shots that it's crazy. Now, she did get the 41. 4 of them points came to late game fouling. But, hey, 40 is 40. But, man, she just was phenomenal. But it's not all Caitlin. Her teammates made big shots at big moments, too. One of them had like a free throw line jumper when LSU was starting to fight back. Flu J tried hard, I think, in the third and in the second to fight back. But then she got in foul trouble, had to sit. Then Angel Reese, third quarter, first half, she balled. First half, Angel Reese balled. She looked unstoppable. But that third quarter, man, she was just, Caitlin fact. She was pulling from that was crazy. But Angel in the third quarter, she just started bricking. She finally hit a shot late in the third. She was missing from the free throw line like crazy too. You got to hit your free throws. Missing from the free throw line like crazy. She was still attacking the boards. She's been aggressive on the boards, and that kind of what got her fouled out, being too aggressive. But overall, a good performance. She played hard. She had a really good performance. Angel Reese, I think Flute had a really good performance. I think she tried to be aggressive whenever she could, but they didn't really. I don't think they really allowed Flute to really get in her Duffy for real. I think like she kind of had to force herself to get shots. I don't really think they really tried to get Flute involved as much as they should have. But yeah, just shout out to Iowa. Really good game, great win, and great way to get your revenge back. Second game, we had Juju versus Paige or USC versus UConn. And AJ said it early, and shout out to him for mentioning it. I respect the fact that Paige took on the offensive responsibilities that she had at UConn and took on the defensive assignment of guarding Juju. That is very respectable because a lot of people won't do that. 90% of players won't do that. They'll take on the offensive responsibility, and then they'll have a role player that's a defensive stopper take on the responsibility of guarding the other team's best player. She took that responsibility on, and I know Juju had 25, I think, or like 27. She played good defense. She got a couple steals. She jumped a couple passes. She played pretty good defense. It's just Juju just tough. So you're going to have to live with some couple buckets. Juju's tough. They both tough. And Juju's a freshman, so she got room to grow. She's going to get better. And that's the scary part with Juju. She's going to get better. Hey, look, bro. She had to get, whatever. Hey, Teddy, you know, bro. I had to say it. But, hey, go ahead. Because I know. Hey, Tony, chill. But, yeah, respect the Paige for taking on that challenge. Respect the USC, man. Really good game. Full hard. They almost could have cut it to 2 points. UConn tried to throw the game away late. I'm going to just call it a spade. Missing endless free throws, dumb turnovers. UConn tried to at least force OT on themselves, but play good enough defense to stop their own mistakes. Hit literally a couple free throws late. Yeah. Shout out Juju. Shout out Paige. Yeah, it was bad. There we go. I ain't remember the exact number, but yeah, it was bad. But shout out to them two ballers. Paige is coming back, so shout out to her. Juju obviously is going to be back. Like I said, she's a freshman. So women's college, for those who don't know, is like the NFL. You got to do 3 years. You can't just go as a freshman because I know you would think it's basketball. Women's, for some reason, you can't go one and done. You can't. You got to do, I think, at least 3. So she's going to be back for sure. Shout out to her for carrying USC to the Elite Eight. I don't think a lot of people coming into this season thought Southern California would be a 1 seed in the tournament, would win the Pac-12 championship, would go to the Elite Eight, and Juju helped her teammates do all that. So much respect to Juju, man. She a baller. But that's all I got for y'all today. Tournament season has been exciting. Oh, no, I do have a mini rant for y'all. I'm sorry. How do those people feel now? All those people that said, this tournament is not as exciting. There's not that many upsets, even though 11 seeds went 3-1 against 6 seeds. 12 seeds went 2-2 against 5 seeds. We had a 13 seed beat a 4 seed. We had a 14 seed beat a 3 seed. But no, that's not enough for y'all. Y'all want to see more. I mean, I don't know what more you want, but that sounds pretty exciting to me. Now, how do y'all feel that Purdue's been to the Final Four for the first time in 40 years? Alabama has never been to the Final Four, going for the Final Four first time this year. An 11 seed is in the Final Four. How do y'all feel now? Huh? Bet you feel stupid now. All of what you wanted in this tournament is what you got. What you got, man. You got a bunch of overtime games. This tournament has been great. If you don't like this tournament this year, there's something wrong with you. Point blank, period. This tournament's been great. We done had OT games. We done had Grand Canyon. We done had JMU. We done had a couple blowouts. It is what it is. We done had Texas A&M and Houston deliver a crazy game. Like I said, we got 3 teams in the Final Four. One has never been ever. One has been in 40 years. And an 11 seed. 3 of them 4 teams. What more you want? And we got the defending champs trying to get back they tournament. I mean, trying to, go back to back. Now, what you want to say? Well, you can't be dominating everybody. So what, bruh? So what? Because what I be hearing is, oh, college basketball fell off. There's no juggernaut. There's no team that you just know they're gonna win it all. It's so wide open. Well, now you got a juggernaut. So what you complaining about now? It just seems like people complain to complain instead of enjoying what you're watching. So that's my little mini rant about the tournament. I think this tournament has been great. That's what I'm saying. But I think this tournament's been great. I think this has been one of the better tournaments I didn't watch. I think all the tournaments I didn't watch lately been great. Last year's tournament was great. Tournament 2 years ago was great. Y'all just want to see a 1 be a 16 or a 2 be a 15 every year. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, bruh. And that's why you enjoy it when it happens. Because it don't happen every year. So when you do see it, you appreciate it. But yeah, man, that's truly all I got for y'all today. It's getting late. I gotta work in the morning, so I'm gonna catch y'all Wednesday after the NIT Final Four. I might have my record up here, I might not, but just know it's a winning record unless both my NIT teams loses. I'm at 15-3, so if both my predictions lose, I'm at 15-5, and the championship game will be whether I have a winning record or lose a record in the NIT. Hopefully, I don't have to go that route though. I just want to end with a winning record because who wouldn't? But until Wednesday, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.
Hold on. I was about to get off, but hold on. I just got on Twitter, and I got to reconfirm this. It is April 1st. So if this is wrong, I'm going to just end the live. But did I just see Bill self-retired? Hold on. I'm on Twitter right now. Nope. No. It was all right. False alarm. All right. It's over.